Hello. Hi. I'm the Nomad. As some of you guys probably know, most of you probably don't. Um, I want to preface this video by saying that I'm not making this video for clout or to try to take advantage of the situation. Because if I was, I would have found my tripod and I would have set it up somewhere and I would have done this in a much more professional setting, if you will. But I'm clearly got my phone and I'm taking a walk around my new apartment. Wonderful little area here, and because I want to talk about this. Because those of you guys know I suffer really bad anxiety, and sometimes I eventually have to get things off of my chest in order to fully come to terms with them, right? I'm always messaging my friends going, hey, can we talk? I've got an issue, and they understand that, okay, it's to calm himself down, right? And so this is kind of my way of doing that. While also getting my own personal opinions and feelings out there about this situation, and to apologize for my involvement in creating Crankage Games to what he is. And I'll get to that all later. But I want to kind of first take a step back and explain how I met Crank and how I became, in my opinion, very close with him. You see, when I was first starting YouTube, and then a year and a half later I started doing Twitch back in December, I learned very quickly on both platforms that the only real way to grow is through networking and through growth with other people. Now, being the socialite and social butterfly that I try to be, I wanted to make friends. Not just friends who wanted me to boost views, or not just friends who we support each other while we're streaming, but then we don't talk afterwards. Like, I didn't want that. I wanted genuine, true friends. And so, because of that, when someone is seemingly very genuine and open with you, and very comforting and inviting, you tend to flock to that. At least I do. And that is the story of how I met Crankage Games. My friend Joyful Death played his game metal as fuck. And so that was how I was introduced to him. And I loved the game. I thought it was hilarious. So I followed him on Twitter. I shared him to everybody. And this was back before Crank really blew up. This is when Metal as Fuck was first created. And I've been with him since then. I've been his friend. I've talked to him. I've communicated with him. And so a few months ago, his now girlfriend posted that he needed more mods. Well, I put my name in the hat because I thought we were really good friends. I've always been supportive of him. He's always been supportive of me. And so she let me be a mod. So I was a mod for Crankage Games. And it was fun. I had a blast. I got followers, I got supporters, and I thought I was strengthening the bonds with a friend. Now we're going to cut to tonight. Alright, and the reason that I'm making this video, and I apologize for filming on a phone, I'm carrying it, and I know I'm bouncing it all around, but like I said, this is going to be an unedited video. I'm not going to edit it, I'm just going to throw it up on YouTube. This might not even hit my fucking computer. I might just find a way to upload it straight from my phone here. This is just me to voice this. I may delete this video at some point. But tonight, it was revealed, for those of you guys who don't know, that Crankage Games, about 6 months ago, beat his then girlfriend, and I won't list any names. You guys can find the tweets. They're not hard to find, and find all that information out for yourselves. But he beat his then girlfriend, and then openly admitted to it in Discord, to her, apologizing for it, right? And he said that I was a monster that did it, and it was the monster in him that did it. The monster. So what you're telling me right there is not only, fuck, I dropped my phone. Not only do you have abusive tendencies, and not only do you have an anger that requires you to hit people and women and your significant other, among that, you also have a schizophrenic issue, a mental disorder that you need to get a therapist to check and fix. And never, in any of your tweets and your responses to being accused of this and being outed like this, you've never once said you've gone to see a therapist. You never have. So as far as I know, you haven't. So how are you going to sit there and tell me, someone who suffers through an anxiety, which is a mental disorder, is extreme anxiety and social anxiety, and you're going to sit there and tell me you beat it without any help? Bullshit, man. I can tell you didn't. And then, above all that, this was 6 months ago. You have the nerve to respond on Twitter and tell people that they don't know the real you. We saw it. That's the thing. We didn't know the real you. Now we do. You see, here's the thing, Crank. You lied to me, okay? You lied to me. You had me think you were my friend. You had me actually believe that you cared, that you gave a fuck about me. You actually had me believe that I could trust you. And not only that, I tied my name to you, all right? And I know that sounds stupid to some people, but that was a huge deal to me. That I thought I had someone that I could actually publicly say I'm friends with. Like, yo, I can't believe this shit. Like, Crankage Games is friends with me. Crankage Games actually views me as someone above just a name that pops up in his stream. Like, I was so fucking happy. I have messages from my father that I tell my dad, I was like, God, I've done it. I've made a friend. I've actually made a friend on this platform. And you used me. Like, you used me. You lied to me. You lied to so many other people. You are an abuser. You are a manipulator. And I supported you. Openly. I haven't talked to the person who you did this to in a while. I talked to her on Twitter on occasion, but she hasn't streamed in a long time, and I was worried. I didn't know why. Now I see why. Do you, for a moment, think to say sorry? And none of your responses have you once apologized. Do you know how many women you had on your mod staff or your mod team or what the fuck you want to call it? A lot. How do you think they feel, knowing that they too have supported a monster? Because that's what you are. You said it yourself. There's tweets, there's messages, there's Discord messages. You called yourself a monster. That's what you are. Now, I don't want people to see this like, oh, this is the first Nomad video you've seen. It's the first interaction you've had with me. Because I know I've gained a lot of followers since publicly outing you. And I don't want anyone to think this is me. I'm very upset right now. I'm very emotional. I've had an anxiety attack for the last 3 hours, which is why I had to make this video in the first place. You know, I've had a lot happen to me over the last 4 years that I'm not going to get into now. A lot of personal turmoil that people that are close to me, Briar, Vash, Joy, they know a good deal about what I've been through. But I'm hurt. Beyond hurt right now. And I don't want people to think I'm making this video as a clout chaser, because I know it's going to get views. As soon as I slap Crankage's name on the fucking title, it's going to get views, and that's not what I'm after here. Alright, I don't care about people watching me because of this video, because this isn't me. This isn't a happy-go-lucky, crazy, wild. I'm wild and loud now, I know, but this isn't the me that everyone is accustomed to seeing. And I don't want you guys to think this is a norm, because it's not. I don't have my thoughts well planned out for this video. I've literally been walking around and talking to a camera for 8 minutes now, and I didn't even mean to be talking for this fucking long. But the big thing I want people to take out of this is you really, really, really need to look at who you call a friend. Because when we're online like this, you don't really get to see everything about that person. There are sides to them that you don't see. But when the truth is out there about someone and they're not a good person, you need to act accordingly. And the people in his Discord right now that I've left because of this, that are defending his actions, supporting his actions, and saying that he has changed and a brand new man. How do you know? Because see, here's the thing, Crank. You say it was never about the money. And I said this on Twitter, but why did people have to sub to you on Twitch to be included in the game if it wasn't about money? Right? Oh, it looks to us like a special perk, but you're a struggling indie developer. Is it really a perk? Joy and company are actually featured in one of your games, and no one says, "Oh, hey, I recognize you from Crankage's game." They probably don't even realize it's them. We loved it because we knew the reference. But you're not really doing anyone a favor. You sit there and say, "Oh, I support you, and you support me, and I'll support you, and I'll get people to watch you too." Here's the thing, Crank. I don't need you. I never did. I thought I did, but I don't. But I do have to thank you for one thing, because this is probably the first real, genuine video I've recorded in a very long time. And in 10.5 minutes, I feel a lot fucking better. The Nomad is going to be back soon, guys. The real Nomad. The happy, wild, crazy, outgoing, loving, supporting Nomad. He's been gone for a while. And ironically, this hasn't really helped my mental state, but it has taught me something. You know? That I need to be much more careful about who my friends are. And who I trust on this platform and others. But I am back in my new apartment. We're fully moved in, got some boxes to unpack, but I will not be bouncing to the old apartment and back here like I have the last 5 days. So normal streams and normal videos will be coming. Me and Tom and James and Justin are all four very excited about getting back to making regular videos for you guys. And I'll be making them with a much clearer conscience. And I won't be relying on people like Crankage Games to get views. Because here's the thing, Crank. I never needed you. But when this is all said and done, you're going to need us. And none of us are going to be there. Have a good night, guys.